Hello everyone, my name is Val and today we're doing the review of the brand that is new to me, and maybe some of you also don't know about it yet, but we're gonna get to know each other, and we gotta start with this palette From the Roots by DedeSignature. I think that is how it's pronounced because I saw stories about the Dede rather than DD. Yeah, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I tried my best to figure out some of the stuff about the brand beforehand, before starting to film this. This palette has been sent to me in PR. It was released on 10th October. I do have a little note here about the release dates, about the presentation, and the color story reveal and what this palette is about. And this palette is actually created to celebrate the journey of finding our ancestral roots, a theme that has deeply resonated with so many of us in recent times. It's more than shades in a pan. It's a story of identity, history, and cultural connection. And this design also supposed to represent the cultural connection, the roots, the ancestry, and the growth that we can achieve together. The design is very interesting, and the most interesting about this palette is this non-trivial color story. As you can see, I've already used quite a bunch of things from here. This palette is magnetic. This is the color story, and I will show you everything about the textures, about the eyeshadow, how to use it, which looks we can do together. 3 we will do together, and this one can be found in shorts earlier usually than I release the video. But yes, this is what we are working with. Huge thanks to the brand, to Dede and Seal. I hope that I pronounce it right. And yeah, let me show you everything that I want you to know about this. And if you're interested, let's begin. So it is me. Anyway, today we're starting with From the Roots palette, and it will be a very interesting journey. It's the first time I'm trying this palette or this brand in general, and I read on the back of a palette which shades are eyeshadow and which are pigments. And as far as there are pigments in this palette, I'm gonna work with it in the same way I'm working with the Bella Buteba, which means we're starting with Spice Root. This shade is beige with a muted undertone, like it's slightly muted beige. It has a bit of gray in it, and it matches my skin on the wrist perfectly. It's not pink undertone, sometimes I can lean neutral, but that's about it. So I'm gonna apply it all over the lid as a base. This is gonna allow me to blend the further shadows better, because as I said, we know that some of them can be a pigment. Then I'm going into the Sacred Amber, and this is a nice orange shade. I'm gonna outline my crease with it. I use such a brush with a pointed tip, and it's almost like a pencil but elongated. So I'm setting the end of pencil as a brush to the inner corner. I'm dipping into it, pressing to the brush, and then releasing the pressure slightly. I'm dragging the shade across the crease. This allows me to get the most intensity in the beginning, and then to get whatever is left on the brush into the other places. So that is nice technique, I would say, for such places, for such scenarios. And it's actually a very nice looking orange shade. We're going into something more witchy, as you can maybe notice, because it's still October to me. Still, I'm trying to get into this vibe mood kind of thing. And yeah, that's what we are dealing with. Next, I'm going into the shade, as far as I have a base already, I can go into the darkest one. So Tribe Ink it is. I'm using a fluffy brush. Fluffy brush allows to be a more sparse application, not the packed pigment, but more like movable. And as far as we have a base, it should be totally movable. And this is exactly what happens. The Tribe Ink is black, more like a gray to black, and this is going to be the darkening shade I'm using in this scenario just for the vibe. It's not going to be standing out, but it's going to be there. Once I'm more or less happy, I'm just doing the outer corner of my eye and slightly dragging it to the lower lid and to the crease itself, so that I can have a shape kind of prepared. Then I'm going into the shade Rebirth. Very nice purple. I like this purple, and I like how it sets onto the eye. So I'm dragging it across the darkest one, and then going into the crease and kind of outlining the eye almost by the crease with this shade, because it's it's such a nice shade, to be honest. And honestly, I just need to wash some brushes, but that's a side thought. Then once the purple is there, I think we can go into the Generational Love, which is a pink shade. It's going to be main lid shade. It's not going to be seen that much, but it blends into the purple perfectly. I really love this combination. I love how easy it is to blend one to another. Just a reminder, it's the first time I'm working with this brand eyeshadow formula, and I'm already liking what I have here. The Generational Love sets as a pink, and you can basically kind of keep it in the mattes without anything, but we will continue. The Rooted Clay is the next one. It's beige with a bit of yellowness to it. It's going to be my inner corner. It stands out. It's lighter than my skin tone. It does not match it completely. It's just a bit lighter, a bit whiter, so to say. And I think I will need something contrasting like green, like olive tree, onto the bottom lid. So I'm just applying it there. Just a reminder, my pink undertone makes some of the greens neutralized. So pink neutralizes green, green neutralizes pink. And I'm getting a bit more yellowish tone in it. So this is just how the color theory works here. This is something that you have to be prepared for. And I'm just blending it a bit with a Tribe ink as well, and into the inner corner with the Rooted Clay. Very, very simple, but pretty and very easily a blendable thing. I'm really into it so far. It's going really well. I'm surprised by that. Now we are ready to go into our shimmer shades. We don't have that many shades, and I think I will go into the Sacred Thread first. It kind of fits the most to purples to me, and I'm gonna place it all over the purple and pink together with a silicone brush. Silicone brush is not the best applicator in this scenario. It's a slightly more crumbly shade. It's not exactly flaky, but a bit more crumbly, and I think with a flat brush or your finger, this will be the best to apply. So I'm applying it to pretty much the whole moving lid, keeping the areas free of where you have the orange and the white. Then I will go into the shade Divine Dust. It's a very interesting one, and it sparkles, like it's transparent base with sparkles. I'm placing it into the inner corner, dragging it upwards and downwards slightly, not too much. And the last one I think will be the Harvest Soil. It's gonna be my bottom lid because I have something green in there, and I think it makes sense to add something in there. So that concludes the overall scenario for this eye look. I'm really enjoying how it looks. I'm positively surprised, I would say, for now. And I only needed to add a liner into here, and I think we will be ready to see the finished result. So this is the look, and I am so impressed so far. Look at how even this is. Maybe it's because I applied the first shade all over the lid, but this is so even as a coverage, as a color. I'm just so impressed by that. The mattes here are looking great. The mattes were also very blendable, very easily blendable, I would say. You have seen it by yourself. You have seen how everything turns out. And even though this is like a Halloween color schema, we have orange, purple, and green, this looks more like autumn rather than Halloween. Like, yeah, we have a bit of a pumpkin shade, but it's also looking good, and the green also looks good, and it doesn't conflict with each other, and they are blending together nicely, and they are looking together nicely. I'm just really, really impressed. And the shimmering shades, they are not like out of this world shimmering, but you can clearly see the duochrome, which is awesome. As I said, sometimes it's very hard to catch the duochroming something properties, but this one is pretty easy. Like, you can clearly see it. It's right here. The duochrome itself is pretty subtle, but it's visible. And the inner corner is, I'm just loving this shade. It has this little tiny sparkles, a bit of pink, a bit of turquoise, kind of blue, and they are mixing with the other shade also very nicely with the pink side, and it's just so nice. The green ones are just shimmering sparkles so far, nothing too crazy, but I kind of love this makeup look. It's already going good. It's like the way of working affects how I actually perceive the eyeshadow themselves. And I also wanted to tell that almost no fallout happened here. Like, it's just, I had a clean under eyes basically when I had this makeup on already. So I have a couple fallouts from the purple because of its texture, but it's nothing crazy. It's not going anywhere. It's just, it's good. It's really good. As I said, I'm really impressed. And this is my first impression because it's my first time working with this. So yeah, about the eyeshadow, I'm really, really happy about how it looks, how it was applied, how to work with it. The shades themselves really looking good. I'm just happy with the makeup today. It's a good makeup day. Okay, in my bottom lash line, I have Kaleidos 7 Seas because it's a bit of a green to yellow and it kind of matches the green here. So I just extended kind of the green from the look into this shade. Then what else do I have on my face? The same Sephora contour stick and Kevyn Aucoin balm foundation. Then I used Yummy Skin Jubilee, a bit of a peachiness, but not too much, but not too little, like a perfect shade for this look. It's like slightly warm, but not overpowering. I'm really happy with the makeup today. So, Jubilee. And as a highlighter today, I have Ofra Rodeo Drive. Rodeo Drive is a bit of gold, and it's really matching with the gold outcome on the on the duochrome here. Then I have Endless Cacao pencil as my lip liner. I also bought myself Artist Color Crayon in the same shade Endless Cacao. I have no idea why I bought it. I had no actual purpose, but I wanted it and I got it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I just got it. Sometimes my purchases are like this, so don't judge me too much, at least. And Endless Cacao. And then I have Clarity Cosmetics Espresso Kisses lip gloss mixed a bit with Jubilee. So I applied the Jubilee on my lips and then on top of it I applied the lip gloss, so I can mix them together and make the lip gloss a bit more warm, kind of a bit more matching because of the cheeks. So this is lip gloss from the Coffee House Vibes from Clarity Cosmetics that I bought, and it smells like coffee and it's a very nice shades actually. One is super sparkling, green, yellow and purple something in here. Then the matte lipstick in the cool shade that is called Mocha Velvet. And then this lip gloss. Lip gloss matched the most to me, so I just used that. And that will be it. This is all I have on myself for now, and this is all I'm presenting basically today, and I like it. It's really good. Yeah, I'm pleased with everything. And we have more shades. We touched 10 shades from the palette. It's a 16 shadow palette and we touched 10 of them already. That's great, to be honest. And we will see. I want to have something in the turquoise blue maybe, and maybe blood red something. I'm not sure right now how it's gonna go, what I'm gonna do with it, but so far very interesting colors, very autumn look, very matching together. Looks good to me. And I will see you in the next makeup tomorrow, so stay tuned. So I am back. It is Monday, 11 in the evening, and I'm starting the second look with this palette. I think I will go into the reds today with the accent of blue. That's why I kind of made the blue background. I'm not quite sure what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna turn out, but I hope it will be good looking. And I want it more like conceptual because I did not create before something red with something blue, like combined, and that is why I want to try it. And let's go into it. I already have a painterly on my eyelids, and with a flat brush I'm starting with the shade Blood Bond. It seems like a pigment, but at the same time it's kind of an eyeshadow, and I'm setting it in the Halo Eye format into the inner corner, dragging it upwards to the brow by the crease. So I'm going slightly above the crease so that it can be still seen, but I'm not going up to the very brow bone. Then from the other side I'm blending it into the shape I need, and just leaving a gap in the center. That's the Halo Eye effect streaked, and I'm just dragging it to the little shape I want so that it's nice and blended. It has a bit of a problem. I should have probably started with beige all over the lid, but I decided to try it like this to understand if it's gonna be problematic or not at all. There is a bit of a blending issue, but not exactly the issue, let's say, but the blending is a bit different for sure, and that is not a problem at all actually. So I'm gonna just continue like I'm here doing. Then I'm blending it, as I said, to the bottom lid as well to see the shape. This elongated shape is what I really like in the makeup looks, and this is what I will try to keep. Then I think I wanted to go either to the turquoise or to the gray, and I think it will be gray in this case. Spoken Legacy is the next shade I'm gonna take. This will be the blending into the inner part without connecting them, so I'm still not connecting them together. It's still the halo eye, and I'm just blending gray on top of the red, and it actually overpowers the red despite being lighter than that. So the shade here is allowing this nice transition, so they blend into each other without a strict line, so they are blendable. They are really good in this, and as you can see, it's even overpowering the red in the light shade. Even though it doesn't look so light in the pan, it's kind of more or less light on the eye, and I really like this gray. Same story with the bottom lid, don't forget about it, because I can forget from time to time, but then I return to it. And then I'm going back to the Blood Bond to see if I can apply a bit more to cover up, to blend with the gray. It's kind of funny because it's not applying as intensely as I was expecting it to be, but that's actually not bad. Yeah, nothing bad with that. And I'm thinking to add a bit of a black. The Tribe ink is not precisely dark black, it's very blendable black, like a dark gray more, and I'm going with it by the outlines. And outlines of this blending, I'm using it in the inner corner up till the very edge, and on the edge I'm not connecting it to the liner. I'm just going by the crease with like a little swoosh, a little line that is there, and then I'm going into the lash line and I'm blending it into the lash line, so that will be like an edge for me, and I think it kind of looks cool in this case. I'm just dragging it slightly, elongating the shape, and also on the lower lid I am using the same shade. This is so far looking really nice. I do enjoy how it all turns out right now. And we need to move on to the shimmer. I was thinking actually to do the Harvest Crown, it's red, but I really want to try the Ancestor Veil because it's more of a bluish shade with golden green sparkles, and I think it will look really nice, like antique red and turquoise look very vampiric to me, and I really kind of enjoy it. So let's connect that. It's what I want today. Ancestor Veil with the silicone brush is what I'm applying to the very center. I'm trying to keep it within the center. I'm not dragging it till the very end of the shade, so the mattes would still be kind of visible here. And I'm also applying it to the bottom lid. So far looks really nice. And I'm going to use my finger to make it a bit more impactful, I guess, like more visible basically. And under the brow I want to use the shade Divine Dust because it's just a nice, very light shade. It also has a bit of a greenish sparkles and a bit of a pink in there, so I think it will match nicely and complete this look. So I'm just using the brush, small brush, and applying it under the brow, primarily outlining the crease. Okay, I think at this point I will only need a liner, and yeah, I'm just gonna repeat this line. It's nothing fancy. I'm not elongating or making the liner too big right now. So yeah, just swoosh of a line, and I will be back with you with the final face. So this is the makeup, and I'm super into it, to be honest, because this just looks so good and so vampiric at the same time, but wearable. I really like the combination of turquoise or blue, like a light blue, a semi-transparent blue with a red or dark red or burgundy, and this shade is very cool. It's truly like a bloody shade, and it has a bit of a raspberry in it, so it's a cool toned red more, and I think it just looks so rich, so good. I like the shimmers. When you apply them in the center of the eye, just in the center, so the most intense point will be the center, and then you just slightly like tap it over, then you will not have many problems with creasing, even if you don't have a proper base. So if you have problems with creasing of the shimmers on your eyes, you can try these kind of schemas, so to say. You can only darken up the outer edge, and you can skip completely the inner corner if you don't like this halo eye style. But yeah, if you apply it on less movable areas, so the center of the eyelid is usually the less creasing in general, and it just helps if you apply this way. Yeah, that's just something that I noticed lately, and what I've been using as well, because inner corners are the most creasing things, and also yeah, sometimes here in the center you have also a bit of a lines, especially with age. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with the look. I'm happy with everything. The work of eyeshadow is phenomenal so far. I'm really impressed and I'm loving it. It's really good. Even though these are pigments, I've applied the red one without many problems, and I think it really went well. And I love the colors. I love the outputs of everything. I love how they work. And I'm happy about everything so far. Just repeating myself again and again. So what else do I have on my face? Actually, Kevin Kwan foundation, the same Sephora contour stick as usual. Then I have Dancing Queen by Danessa Myricks. It gives me a bit of a berry tone in general. It kind of fits, but it may be overpowering. I kind of like this shade, and I like this formula. It's balm to powder, and it just gives a flush of color. Then I have Rosé Rave by Fenty as my highlighter, not too much. I wanted actually something more of a greenish gold to match the main sparkle, but I was too lazy to search for it in my drawer, so it's just this has to do. Then I have MAC Chestnut as my lip liner, and I got it, the Grape Gushin by NYX. Wonderful purple. This is one of the best purples, and it applied really nicely. The downside is that it stains the teeth, like it gets onto the teeth, but whatever, I'm kind of forgiving it for that because of how good this formula is and how good this shade is. And when you remove this stain, you will be left with a lightly purple stain, the tint on the lips, and it's perfect match to a light mauve. So MAC came out with a Nocturna collection not so long ago, and they have a light mauve. They have a dark mauve as a liner, the light mauve as a gloss. It's a lip air gloss, so it's non-sticky gloss. I do have it, but I did not film it yet, so I'm not using it yet because I'm separating the things to stuff I would like to use right away and the stuff that I want to film first before using. It's like the balms from Bella Botte Bar, for example, still waiting for their turn. They are right there laying, and I'm just I need to film it before I can use it. This is like a curse, but this is something that I just have to do, and I'm dealing with it now because I need to put out the content at the end, and that's why I'm buying things, that's why I'm trying things. Yeah, I have to show something. I feel like I have to show something. Maybe it's not the case. Maybe I could have just shown the makeup looks, but I unfortunately cannot do so much in a short period of time, and there are many things to it. That's why I prefer to try and show some products as well. And I also like to film products, actually. I would like to actually work for the product photography or product filming, and all the reviews, all of the things that I do, I want to keep as a hobby because I don't want to be too much involved into the launches. It's very stressful, it's very time consuming, and I want to keep my reviews more thorough, so I don't think I will ever rush some reviews doing like 2 makeup looks and trying to say that I already know everything. And yeah, I want to I want to show as much as possible. I want to show every shade and how it performs on the lids. And for that reason, I want to keep my review, my channel in this format as a hobby only. But for the product photography, maybe I can get some works, maybe some commissioned work, clients, etc. Because I think the product photography on my side also works really nicely. I feel like I can grasp the product and show it in a good light, literally. Yeah, so that's the idea behind everything. And I'm happy with what I received. This is very vampy. I think it's also very Halloween-y, but at the same time, it's kind of autumn and antique, something like the vibe is here. I feel inspired, and that feels really good. I'm loving this part of working with palettes. So I will see you tomorrow in a new look, and until then, I gotta go. So it is time for the final makeup look of this review, and it's going to be something in the blue direction, or more like the blue will be the main color in this makeup look. So I'm starting with the shade Spice Root. I'm just placing it all over the lid because it's going to be the base for me. Very easy to blend on top of that. Then I'm going into the shade Royal Descent, and this is going to be my crease shade and all over the blending shade so that I can have my cut crease. Today we're doing half cut crease, and yeah, I'm just blending it here and there to the bottom slightly, not too much, because there will be another shade in there. But yeah, that's the beginning first. And once I'm more or less happy with the blue, I'm going into the shade Rooted Clay. It's a beige, it's very nice for blending, and I'm gonna use it exactly for that. Blending for us will be, yeah, you just basically take it and blend it however you like, and whatever is left, then is left. I'm gonna take it a couple times into the blending area because I just need it to be a bit more impactful, so to say. I probably should have gone into the green or turquoise right away, but oh well. The good thought comes after a while. So I'm gonna go into the origin depth first. I'm gonna try it out to see if this is gonna work with the blue, and I think it actually has the same level of depth, and that's why I'm going to the bottom lid with it instead of the top. But bottom lid is also important, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Then once I'm happy with this, I'm gonna go into the black Tribe ink and outline the top lid a bit onto the areas where I have my crease. That will be the darkest part. We're gonna cut it, so it doesn't have to be precise, you don't have to worry about anything, and because of that, you can also just place it however you want. Once my black is placed, I can blend it slightly with the blue. They mix together nicely, they blend, they kind of work together, which is really, really nice, and I'm gonna go with the flow now. Then we are pretty much ready for the blend, for the cut, and I'm taking the disposable micro applicators for brushes for lashes, they are technically speaking, and that base by Gloss Gods. If you want it more clean, you can go with the micellar water, like a Bioderma first, and then only cover it with with something. But I'm not gonna do that. I just don't like the feeling of micellar water. It also can ruin the makeup underneath sometimes, so I'm just gonna go with that base right away. I'm cutting it from the inner corner by the crease. Basically, I'm trying to outline it slightly higher, as usual, by the crease, and just cutting it until the almost very end of the eye, because that's just how it is, how it works. And after that, I'm taking a brush that is angled and flat and going with the same that base all over the lid, the moving lid. This is going to be the base for my shimmers, and I think that's gonna work nicely. So the main lid shade today will be the Harvest Crown. It's kind of a rose gold something. It's a very interesting shade in itself, and I think it looks good with the blue. It's unusual combination. It may not look the most intricate, but I think it kind of looks good still. So I'm going to place it with my silicone applicator brush all over the lid, except the very end of the lid where it meets the blue, because there I need something a bit darker, and I think I will go into the Sacred Thread anyway, so that will be my other part of the lid shade. So I'm just placing it there. It's duochroming already, and I think it will be kind of multi-chrome in itself as a look. Then I'm taking just a small fluffy brush and going over the edges because I need them to be a bit more soft, and that will do exactly that. And then I think I want to add a bit of green to the bottom lid. I'm taking the brush and olive tree green shade to add it to the bottom, blending it all with rooted clay. Rooted clay from my previous blend of blue basically left a bit of a kind of a powdered area. It's very smooth and very matte, and the shades are actually blending very nicely on that, if you ever wondered if that's something you want to do. And then I'm going into the shade Harvest Soil, placing it into the inner part of the lid, and this will go for me to the Ancestor Veil on the outer edge, which I also need to slightly blend with an empty brush, because you cannot just place it there and leave. It needs to be slightly blended at least. I'm kind of connecting them together. They will be separated by the liner, but for now I think it's totally fine to keep it like that. And very final touch, I will go into the Divine Dust. Just place it into the inner corner. This is gonna be the idea. I'm a bit confused about my execution of this look because of the added green probably, but I kind of didn't want to leave it just blue. And yeah, you cannot really see the turquoise much, but it's okay. It's fine. I can make it nice at the end. Into here I need a liner. I will do the second eye off camera and come back to you with all the finished results. So this is my makeup look, and it's controversial, I would say. It's kind of a primary colors because we have blue, we have something closer to red, and we have green. So the RGB is the ones that we are seeing here. So it's a bit controversial because of the colors that are a triad in the color wheel, and it kind of still looks okay, but it kind of a bit strange. If I cannot describe it properly. I think it's still pretty, but something is off. That's the feeling I get. I'm not sure why I decided to go with this, but I'm kind of okay at this point. I have a problem with the symmetry of these eyes, and the amount of things and products I used also a bit different because of the base, and also because of that base and things that I applied onto the lid. I have slightly different amount of products on different lids, and they behave a bit different too. This eye started to slightly crease. This one is so far not. It's very easy fixable with just a flat brush, but still it's because of the products. It's not because of the eyeshadow themselves. So I just gotta be clear about that. But the blendability of mattes is incredible. They are very pigmented. They are right here and they're blendable like crazy. I'm super happy about that, and I cannot describe how wonderful it is to work with such eyeshadow, because it's just like a breath of fresh air, that there are no problems, there are no issues, and it's just going good. I don't think I have much to say except that I used all 5 shimmers in here and quite a bunch of mattes, but some of the mattes are not as visible as the others, and this is a very blue heavy look. That's why I also have a bit of a blue here. But other than that, I think it's nice, it's good, and yeah, I cannot say anything so far. I still need to do one more look because I want to be able to tell more about the things, and a 16 color palette 4 looks I think would be kind of justified. So far that is it. I'm thinking what I will do tomorrow for the final thoughts. In the meantime, what else do I have on my face? So Sephora contour stick the same way, Kevyn Aucoin foundation, NARS concealer the same way. Today I have a mix of a Love Cake and Rose Ritual by Glam. On my cheeks it's slightly peach, slightly pink, something mixed. I also have a highlighter from the Hourglass palette. This is a deer in a fox. So the fox case, a deer inside. This highlighter and these two blushes mixed together create something like this. So it's more of a copper rose gold kind of look, and I'm pretty happy about it. I think it's refreshing on the face and looks nice. Then I have MAC Grage as a pencil. I then applied the Endless Cacao by Makeup Forever as a artist pencil, artist color crayon, I'm sorry. And then I applied NYX in Hydra Honey, a lip Ivy, a lip 4. So yeah, this is everything that I have right now. And I would say this is pretty good. It still looks decent. It looks like it kind of belongs together. Not the best look probably that I've created, but that's my personal preference. Maybe some of you actually like it more than the others. It's just, this is how it works, basically. So I will collect all my thoughts. I will do one more makeup look, and tomorrow I will join you after work as usual in the final thoughts for this whole video, and hopefully I will be able to tell something nice about it. In the meantime, see you soon. So my final look with the palette, I decided, at first I started with like a rainbow kind of vibe, but quickly understood that it's not exactly what I want to see on myself, and as a final makeup in this case, I wanted to try something nude, because I think it's sometimes really important to know if the palette is able to do the nude-ish or some variable, much more variable, non-colorful, let's say, makeup looks, and I think it turned out amazingly. I really love this makeup and I would honestly wear it every day. I used the Divine Dust all over my lid, and you can see that it has a pink shift with the green sparkles, and I used also the gray and tribal ink, which is slightly black, and a bit of red on the lower lid, and I think it actually is very pretty and very fitting, so I feel really good about it. Okay, so let's start talking about everything. I was contacted on Instagram in DMs, asking if they can send me something, and of course I was happy to actually try the things. I heard a lot about the brand in the past, especially with the Chromebooks and the Fearless Holiday palette. That was very interesting, but I am slightly hesitant to expand my collection of brands because I have a lot of things that I still did not review. But when the opportunity comes, sometimes it's better to take it than not to take. And I was happy that I did, actually. Yeah. So DedeSignature sent me two palettes. One is upcoming, which I will talk about later, and the one that was released on 10th October is this From the Roots. It was sent to me before the release date, and I was able to do some product photos and stuff, but I was not able to actually produce the video of this format because I want to know the essence of the palette. I want to touch every shade of it to understand if it actually performs as I expect, how to best work with it, what I can do, and etc. So this is a bit of a delay, unfortunately, but I think it's better this way sometimes because I can actually tell you more information about things and I can show you more looks as well. So, as I mentioned, I got a little note about the DNA story written in our DNA, and let's celebrate the power of roots, identity, and self-expression. This is what brand says about the palette and about the color story in here. The palette came very nicely wrapped, so this is the cardboard box it comes in. There you have a bubble wrap sleeve that holds the palette in place. Then the palette itself is also made out of a very nice to the touch cardboard, so it's quite a high quality cardboard, and I'm enjoying it so far. This is one that will not warp. Like, this one is not gonna warp. I just know for sure that this one is not gonna warp. Sometimes they do that, even having a mirror inside, that does not prevent them. I'm looking at Muse and Serenity from Cosmic Beauty, Cosmic Brushes, because that was not good. But yeah, this one is much more sturdy by the feeling, and this is a magnetic palette. Magnetic palette with 16 shades inside. What information do we have here? That it is distributed by DedeSignature from Texas. The brand is relatively small right now. I think they have around 17 something thousand followers right now on Instagram, and I think they need a hype because the products are really good. And let me tell you everything that I think about it in the meantime, because yeah, I have to justify my opinion in this scenario, right? So we have 19.2 grams of eyeshadow, which means around 1.3 grams per refill, which is quite a good amount in this case. We have a mirror with the logo here. We have a very interesting design. This actually, I think, was shown by the brand as it's like a necklace piece that is very, very pretty, and it kind of looks like roots. And then we have all the colors, and we have the connection of cultures and people and the ancestral roots and the descendants that are coming from it. And I think it kind of represents the idea in general. So then we have information about the pigments and everything about eyeshadow. So you have a specification of which ones are eyeshadow and which ones are pigments. It's very nice that it's repeated. So the information on the box and on the palette is the same. You will not lose the information in the meantime if you like throw away the box, for example, and you are left only with the palette. That is good, in my opinion. Then as we open it, we have 16 shades. They also came with a protective cover, like a white, in this case, a square, not a round. And I had a couple shades having a crack in them, but what I did is just leave the cover on and press it into. That way you will get the eyeshadow back intact, and you can remove the cover later. So it's very easy to restore such kind of things. If they are slightly cracked or slightly broken, you just press it in with this cover and it really helps. A couple shimmers were a bit distorted, but not crazily. They do not fly all over the palette, which is this covers are for. And I think we have a very interesting color story that is non-trivial, and I haven't seen something like that released in the past couple months, since it's been autumn releases lately in indie community. And this color story stands out to me. At first I did not understand it fully, and it also requires a bit of thinking, I would say, because there are colors that are not like positioned in gradients or anything, and you need to find a way how to work with it best. However, I think it's relatively simple to find this way, and you can work of anything to anything. You have all the transition shades between themselves, because technically speaking, this is a rainbow palette that goes from one color to another. So we have red, we have pink, we have beige, gray, which is slightly like a lilac gray. Then we have a purple, blue, we have dark black, orange, well, it's yellowish orange. It can be lighter if you add it with a light color. So this one is a warmer tone, and this one is a cooler tone. And you can mix and match things, so they also cover up the darker shades with the light ones, so they can blend more easily. We have our greens and turquoise, so the full circle can be made out of the shades without many problems at all. I think it's really good, and it's very cohesive at the end once you start figuring this out. So we have wonderful formula of mattes. I absolutely adore working with these mattes because they blend into each other seamlessly. Like, it's so nice and buttery, and it's so good because you just swipe one shade and then you swipe another and they can blend together. It's amazing. So the work with the palette was incredible. I'm absolutely in love with that formula of mattes. And the shades themselves are also interesting. What I also want to point out is that you have lightening shades, you have middle shades to like combine the look, and you have a darkening part. So you have a full palette that is self-sufficient. You don't need anything else. You can just take this one and you're good to go because it has already everything that you need. So you can mix shades together. For example, if you connect the green with red, you will get a shade of brown, which is also great. And then you have black to darken it, but it's not like pitch black. It's something that actually can help blend other things and to just darken them enough without overpowering. I really like it. I mean, sometimes you need the pure black but sometimes it's better to have this like ink black that is like watercolor kind of stuff that helps to blend things. For the shimmers themselves, we have only 5 shades of shimmers. This one is my favorite because it's so airy, so truly divine dust. The names here are perfection to the shades, and I think it really was chosen perfectly for the whole collection, for the whole palette. Then we have this gray is actually matte with sparkles. Sparkles do not do much, but they're just there. It sometimes helps with the adhesion. We have all of them being interesting, so they are shifting one way or another. So we have a blue base with golden sparkles, sometimes shifting slightly to something greenish. We have, so this one works with the blue and gray perfectly. This shade, it's called Harvest Crown. It's like a rose gold bronze something, and it works also perfectly with this and this shade, so red and purple with this. Amazing. I did opposite thing and I combined it with the blue one. You can do that as well. The blue and rose gold actually look good together as well. We have the dark purple that goes into something green, so it matches the purple and green area. So you have the teal, the green and the purple, so it kind of binds them together at the end. And we have this green that goes into, so it's like a golden green, goes in a darker green. So Harvest Soil it is called, and it's also perfect for green and yellow combinations. So they are thought through, they are not randomly selected. I really enjoyed working with that because you start to understand how they are connected with each other and how to connect them in general, and I find it really, really nice. This was one of the nicest things about the palette, because at first when you look at it, it's kind of random, but then you connect the dots and you find the way. So I don't think I had anything creasing, but I'm also not very oily in the lids, and I use Urban Decay Primer Potion Original so that I don't have any creases really, only if I go overboard with the amount of eyeshadow. But other than that, nothing crazy, I would say. And yeah, I think the shimmers are good. They are not spectacularly visible right into your face like sometimes Bella has, but they are there, they are visible, and they are not like a satin something absolutely unknown. Like, you don't have to search for them, they're still there, and I really enjoyed that as well. Yeah, as I said, the palette is magnetic, so if you like some shades and you want to combine your perfect palette, you can do that. And I truly enjoyed working with this, with everything in here. And I think it's underappreciated right now of how good this is actually. So, yeah, what about the pricing? We have $48.99 in dollars, which is on the official website costs $51.95 in euros, tax included, but shipping calculated separately. So you get 16 shades for a bit less than 50 euros, $50. But then the shippings and taxes may affect this. In Europe, I have seen this palette for around 59, and I think that goes slightly to stretch, but I also can understand that somewhat good multi-chromes or duochromes, magnetic pans, and good formula of matte and good packaging are all affecting this price point. And I think it's actually decently priced for an indie palette, because I can see, for example, Auden's Eye having the 16 shade pans, 16 shade eyeshadow palettes at the price of 42 with only 2 duochromes, and this one has more duochromes, good matte formula, it's magnetic, so it's kind of, yeah, it's totally justified for me, considering that you also can sometimes get a discount on this stuff. So it's more than fair. As an indie person, like as a person who buys indie eyeshadow and trying to like compare the pricing and to see how the things are, I think it's fairly priced, really. And for the quality you get, it's wonderful. So I was really happy to work with the palette, and I was really happy to get to know the brand, truly enjoying the experience. And you have seen everything, like you cannot make it up that the eyeshadow are not blending or they're patchy fancy or something else. This is just perfect experience for me, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Let's have a look on all of the looks that I've created with this palette and all of the things that I did with it. Yeah, I hope you also enjoyed this video, and if you would like to get From the Roots or any other DedeSignature palette, I would really highly recommend that. I will leave a link down below. I do have a code, but you don't have to use it, especially when the Black Friday discounts are coming or something else. It's like this part is not the most mattering to me. I enjoy working with the new things. I enjoy just this whole situation I'm in, doing this as a hobby, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity to try things, but only paying a little bit for it. So yeah, I thank you once again for watching this video till the very end, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did enjoy creating everything, and we will see each other really soon. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, leave a comment. Maybe you will find something interesting on the channel itself as well. And it was nice to see you, and we will see each other very soon. Bye!